not even a little bit. Oh Lord, know yourself, know your worth. I been Steph Curry with the shot, been with the sauce, Chef Curry with the pop, boy. 360 with the wrist, boy. 0 to 100, real quick, real quick, real quick.
Everyone's in their seats here at the Oracle Arena as the Golden State Warriors look to grab a win in front of the home crowd here. The Nuggets here looking to pick one up here on the road before returning to Denver. This is a team showing a better record this year over last. This was their goal, and it's coming to fruition so far.
This is one of those games when you look at your calendar, it's circled before the schedule's even released. So it's one of the best rivalries we have in our league. And, guys, this is the one you do not want to miss.
No doubt about it, because it seems like these two teams always have a reason to be angry at each other, a little chippy at the very least, and that brings out the best basketball in both of them.
Now let's take a look at Denver's opening lineup. Gallinari sits outside at 3 with Fareed at the 4. Nelson is out there with Will Barton. And you look at Jameer Nelson, played his first 10 years with Orlando. Then he got traded to the Celtics last season, then again to Denver. That had to be tough for a crafty veteran like him, a tough adjustment.
You know, you look at last year, one of his worst statistically, especially from a field goal percentage standpoint. I really agree with you. I think he was affected by all of the change of scenery and system. Let's look to see him have a bounce back this season.
And plenty of contact on the shot, so 2 free throws coming up.
And, you know, talking about Jameer Nelson, what a blessing and luxury being with the same team for a full decade. I had a short career, only 5 years, was with the same team. Man, I wish I could have played for multiple teams if it would have been a 10 or 12-year career. That would have been cool.
2 shots. 2 shots.
He misses the free throw.
And when you think of Jameer Nelson, he can still contribute as a team leader. This adjustment happens to everyone as the career starts to wind down, and it's a choice. You can either be a part of the problem or a part of the solution.
That one is no good. The Nuggets missed the postseason again last year. Never really had a good look at it and just fell back of the park.
And it's the second straight year of not playing playoff basketball in Denver. This coming on the heels of 10 straight bursts between 04 and 13.
A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. The screen from Thompson. Durant wide open. He fires.
They're 1 of 4 here to start, looking to get into a flow offensively.
Barton passes to Nelson. He feeds it to Gallinari. Screen by Fareed. Over to the left wing. 6 to shoot. Here's Barton, defended by Durant, and that one's good.
And, you know, for Denver, historically, they've enjoyed a lot of success for a long time. I mean, missing the playoffs consecutively might have been the wake-up call they needed to try something different going forward.
And so he draws the foul on the shot and a trip to the line to shoot 2.
And listen, it's sometimes really hard for teams like the Nuggets to know when to rebuild. So while they weren't quite sure what they had coming into last season, by the end of it, they had a clear idea of what direction they needed to head into for the future.
And the first one drops. What a year for the Warriors. Clark won their division for the first time in 39 years, ran away with the very tough Western Conference.
And there were a number of surprises last season, Kevin, but the Warriors were at the top of the list. I mean, I don't think anybody, including you and I, pegged them to be as good as they were.
Especially the way the finals began.
Exactly.
He's perfect from the line this time.
And the Warriors won 51 games back in 2014, improved that mark by 16 wins last season Among teams that won at least 50 games in the previous year, that 16-game improvement was an NBA record for the Warriors.
And Thompson kicks to Durant. Back to Thompson. Jordan the screen. It's Thompson off the drive. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in.
It goes without saying the Warriors set franchise records all over the place with their play. Their win total being the highest ever, but also of note was it was the first time they've won 50 games in back-to-back seasons. They seem to truly have arrived as a top-notch franchise in this current state of the NBA.
And he makes good on the layup.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Nelson against Curry. Outside for Durant. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in.
Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
Nelson against Curry. Nelson kicks to Barton. Screen by Fareed. The pass to Jokic. Shot, high post. Green with the rebound.
He's got to be disappointed with himself on that one. He has got to knock those down.
On its way from Curry for 2. Off the left rim and out.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
And Jordan sends it back. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. With this stoppage in play, we have a chance now to show you which teams led the league in three-point percentage last year. The Warriors, number 1.
You know, Kevin, they were absolutely fantastic last year. I mean, they demanded respect from behind the arc all year long. Very consistent and very disciplined in their shot selection. They knew exactly how to move the defense and move themselves to get quality looks from behind the three-point line.
Here's Thompson. Finished off the break. Thompson's got 6. The Nuggets trail by 6. Here's Nelson. Fareed outside. Screen by Fareed. Gallinari in the corner for the 3. And the rebound goes to the Warriors. They come into this having outplayed the Clippers last game.
They just weren't challenged. I mean, nearly as much as they should have been in that game, at least when they had the ball.
Yeah, it was a mismatch. I mean, the defense from the start was on its heels practically the entire game.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, a moment ago, Steve Kerr and I were able to chat. I asked him what players he was really eyeing on the scouting report, and he said one that might surprise you, Kenneth Fareed. He said he plays with so much energy and effort. He really sets the bar for the rest of the team. If we can limit his impact on the game, I think it'll really be to our advantage. Guys, an interesting take. We'll see if they can slow his roll.
All right, Doris, thanks. And so here's Denver. After the miss from Klay Thompson. Here's Nelson, and it's blocked by Jordan. Durant against Nelson. Thompson inside the line. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Warriors.
Well, you have to admire their intensity in the paint defensively. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early.
And also, how about the fact defensively, they're getting that backboard and getting out in transition, especially in this first half.
Here's Jokic after the made shot from Klay Thompson. Got him with the pump fake, but couldn't finish. For 3, Durant, and that one's good. Durant's got 5 points so far.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run. And really just trying to take the wind out of their sails here, I think. You know, they're on the wrong end of a run and need to just kind of exhale.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to stop the bleeding. Things were starting to spiral completely out of control. And I think a timeout was a no-brainer there.
look at the stats for Faried. A very nice season for him last year. 15th in field goal percentage. And he was among the top 20 rebounders in the league. Never shy about throwing his weight around in the paint.
And as you said, one of the more efficient scorers in the league last year. He showed great shot selection, and more often than not, sent it home.
The Nuggets trail by 11. Now, here is Nelson. Harris outside. Six on the shot clock. Back to Nelson. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. And guys, I would have to say one of the most underrated defensive players in the NBA, Draymond Green. Might not be the case anymore after coming in second in the Defensive Player of the Year voting last year.
Yep, he might not look the part. You know, undersized, but you talk to the scouts and the stat geeks, they'll tell you he's one of the best in the game defensively.
Now, here is Gallinari after the miss from Stephen Curry. Can they get it? Draymond Green pulls it in. Green's got his fourth rebound with that last one here tonight.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the boards.
And even this early, that's a good omen for the rest of the game.
Now, here is Nelson. They set the pick. The Nuggets need to get a shot off here. Harris buries the long-range jumper. Harris has got it back down to single digits for the Nuggets.
Man, that is not an easy shot right there. I mean, he had to get it off over a much taller defender.
Yeah, he needed to add just a little more loft on that one because of the size mismatch, and he did it perfectly.
How about the start that they've gotten off to here? Huge lead, and we're still in the first quarter.
And guys, it hasn't just been the scoring. I mean, they're playing tremendous defense, too.
Now, here is Nelson. Jacks up a three. And again, Denver with the triple.
He's trying to get it going offensively, but right now, just 1 of 4 to start.
Outside Curry. Can't connect from short range.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring.
There's the pick. Nelson against Curry. Gallinari in the corner. The basket good off the assist from Nelson. And now just a 4-point Warrior lead. The Warriors have gone 7 of 15 from the field at this point. Different look here for the Warriors. Pachulia, he's checked in for Jordan. West comes in for Draymond Green. Andre Iguodala is checked in for Kevin Durant. And it's Livingston in for Thompson. Yusuf Nurkic, he's checked in for Denver. Chandler comes in for Gallinari. Here's Pachulia. And the Warriors miss again.
Boy, even though he missed, you can't give up that kind of a look very often.
Better to be lucky than good sometimes. Fortunately, they didn't get burned on that one. And the idea of setting the screen on that play was right, but just poor execution.
Yeah, it just can't be a hard screen at all costs. There is a legality to how you set a screen, so you've got to be inside of both lines, legal and hard.
Warriors leading by 4.
Boy, I tell you, the Warriors did something that no other team had ever done before. They ended the regular season ranked first in field goal percentage and field goal percentage defense. Essentially, they were the best offensive and defensive team in the league. Remarkable.
Denver's gone 3 of 4 on three-pointers in the first quarter, doing well from long range. Nurkic with it is up against Pachulia. Nelson outside, back to Nurkic, down to 5 on the shot clock. Harris dishes to Nelson. This one for 3. No luck. So Golden State will take it the other way. Last season for the Warriors really dominated from beginning to end to lead the league in, Greg, both offensive and defensive efficiency.
And Kevin, a lot of people knew the Warriors were good at offense. I mean, but they've been equally as good defensively over the past few seasons. Kind of flying under the radar for whatever reason. Not the case going forward.
Defended by West. Chandler the pass to Harris. Some nice ball movement by the Nuggets. Just 2 to shoot. Here's Nelson.
And the offense is sputtering a bit here, starting to fall behind.
It's been a cold start, no doubt. But they've got to find a way to put some points on the board.
And Curry, here we go. 14 feet away. It's hauled in by the Nuggets. This game against Golden State is the first time they've met this season.
Yeah, 2 conference rivals. I mean, they'll play each other a total of 4 times this season.
Yeah, plenty of opportunity here, guys, to get on each other's bad side. I mean, if they weren't already. Should make for some fairly high drama.
Chandler's shot, good.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
Curry attacking. Releases from 15. Nice touch on the back shot. Curry's got his 3rd basket of the night.
What do you do with that guy? With his handles, he abuses defenders.
Nelson kicks to Harris. They set the pick. His first shot coming late. West with some nice D.
Yeah, they got that one, but early on, it's really been a struggle for them to secure that defensive backboard.
And because it's still early, I wouldn't read too much into it. There's still a lot of game left. Excellent feed from Steph Curry.
They have a chance to go 2 for 1 here.
Well, let's see how they play the clock.
Chandler with a screen for Nelson. Defended by West. Nurkic a screen on West. Back to Nelson. Pocket 6. Hands it from downtown. Nelson's got a couple of threes now in the first for the Nuggets. Warriors leading by 5. Here is Livingston. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Picked by West. Curry's shot is off.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
And that concludes the first quarter of play. The Warriors on top, leading by 5. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. What do you guys think about the Warriors here so far?
Not much room to operate offensively. The defense has been stifling through the first.
Greg, they haven't given up a lot of easy chances at all.
The Nuggets trail by 5. So on the floor for Denver, Chandler and Faried are at the forward spots. Will Barton is out there at Jameer Nelson. And it's Laverne in at the pivot, manning the middle. Feeds to Faried. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
Gallinari, he's checked in for Wilson Chandler. Denver shooting their 3rd free throw attempt of the game. On the free throw, no good. Tanking is something that all teams that are out of it tend to do. I hate that word, Clark, but it seems to be the one used by a lot. Nuggets didn't really try to hide it last season either.
Well, you know, it certainly looked that way. Right around March, they just started sitting key players for no real reason. They framed it as rest, but it didn't quite look that way.
They set the screen. Martin dishes to Laverne. It's rebounded by Golden State. Jordan's got his 3rd rebound tonight.
And guys, for the Nuggets, it seemed to come out of the blue for their players. They all felt fresh, but the press release would say they needed rest. So obviously a bit of miscommunication there. Oh, I love that dish down low.
The Nuggets trail by 5. Martin passes to Gallinari. Just 5 on the clock. Fires it up. But they recover it. And Faried kicks to Gallinari. There's a good screen. He dishes it to Laverne. Jordan with the rebound. Jordan's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
And, you know, back to the Nuggets and giving up a bit near the end of the season, miscommunications like that can really bother a player. Still, it's a viable strategy. I don't know if it's viable, but it's a strategy that could pay dividends if executed the right way.
And Durant sends it back. Moment here now for an injury report.
Yeah, I caught up with the head athletic trainer for Denver. He said he's having back spasms, and it's causing him a lot of pain. A discouraging development for this team so early in the season. We'll see what kind of impact it has on them in the long term, guys.
Thank you, Doris. Boy, you always hate to see anyone ever deal with any sort of injury.
And almost for every player, it's inevitable. I mean, injuries are going to happen no matter how well you take care of yourself.
And let's just hope the rehab process doesn't drag on any longer than it has to.
Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Jordan dishes to Durant. Back to Jordan. Puts up a 3. That's good. Jordan's got 5 points so far.
Excellent vision by Durant out there. What a nice pass.
Nelson with it. 6 points for him. Screen by Faried. Stolen by Thompson. Livingston passes to Durant. Marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it, too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
And the Warriors put the ball in Thompson's hands a lot more last season. He ran the pick and roll and attacked the rim, taking more advantage of his size and ball handling ability at that off-guard position.
With this pause in the action, let's show you the teams that have scored the most points in the league last season. The Warriors, number 1.
Yeah, #1 in the league in terms of points per game a season ago. They play as a team, just really unselfish in terms of their brand of basketball.
The Nuggets trail by 10. Well, Greg, for Thompson, last season an uptick in his free throw attempts and his assists, and Clark, a reflection of his activity with the ball in his hand.
He's a complete player. Terrific offensive player, outstanding defensively as well. And what I like about him is he never lacks for confidence. He stays aggressive at both ends of the floor.
Here's Green. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
You know, the Warriors took some flack when they passed on the chance to trade for Kevin Love. But I really think that the rise of Draymond Green as their stretch 4-man made the decision even better and also kept their cap situation far more flexible.
And Draymond Green won't give you the superstar numbers of a Kevin Love, but he's got a deceptive impact, Clark, at both ends of the floor. Yeah,
I call him a value utility guy because he does a little bit of everything that brings value to your quest to win. His shooting has steadily gotten better, and while he's not an all-star yet, the sum of his total contributions on the floor are impressive. You know, Kenneth Faried was named to the NBA All-Rookie First Team 4 years ago. Took the league by storm with his energy and hustle. It looked like the sky was the limit for him, but every year since then, his numbers have looked very similar.
Makes a big height bounce and goes in.
And he placed that pass out in front of him and let him just run into it in rhythm.
Outside Durant. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Jordan. Jordan's got his 4th assist in this one. Getting back to Faried, the numbers through last season tell a very interesting story. His field goal percentage has gone down every year, while his free throw percentage has gone up every year.
Yeah, his rebounds, assists, steals, block numbers have all stayed relatively flat. You know, he's making a positive contribution, but maybe not at the level of that contract extension he signed back in 2014.
Nelson kicks to Barton. Pass to Jokic. The feed now to Faried. Shot clock at 5. And here's Gallinari outside. The Warriors pull it in. Jordan's got 6 rebounds in the game. Here's the screen. Down low. Thompson dishes to Durant. 20 feet out. And he gets the kind bounce as that one drops in for it. And now an 11-point Warrior lead. Nelson kicks to Faried. And that one is stuffed right through.
Jameer Nelson dropping a delicious dime there.
Warriors have gone 5 of 8 from the floor here in the second quarter. Over 60% shooting.
Take a moment to check out Kevin Durant here. Last season, he played outstanding. He averaged 25 points per, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. And impressive numbers, no doubt. It's the kind of run we've come to expect from him.
Synergy. All elements working together. The game is coming easy to him right now.
Thompson passes to Livingston. Back to Thompson. Some nice passing by Golden State. It's Durant with the drive. They get it back.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Nelson outside. Here's Barton. He's covered by Thompson. 5 to shoot. Pulls up on the elbow. No good off the back of the rim.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
And that one's good.
You know, basketball can be a thing of beauty, and the Warriors show just how gorgeous ball movement can be last year. Every possession looked like a well-orchestrated concert. It was incredibly fun to watch. Not so much fun, probably, to coach against.
Here's Barton. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. It's on Kevin Durant. Well, the Warriors did zip the ball around very well last year, Clark. They led the league, as Greg was just talking about, led the league in assists per game. It wasn't even close. Over 27 assists per game as a team.
Yeah, 28 times they had 30 or more assists. In 2014, the team that led in that category was the Spurs. They did it only 16 times. Well, you know, we're far enough away from the 2013 draft where we can start to get a feel for just how strong it was. I mean, initial feeling was it was a weak draft, but there have been some gems coming out of it of late.
Andre Iguodala. He's checked in for Golden State. Curry comes in for Sean Livingston. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. And for the 2013 draft class, not sure if there are going to be a lot of all-stars from that class, but there are quite a bit of rotational players that are effective.
And Kevin, listen, there's still a chance to see a couple of all-stars emerge from the class, as there are some elite talents that just need time to grow. And overall, there weren't too many complete misses. Almost every lottery pick is a rotation player at this point.
Dish now to Barton. Harris passes to Jokic. And it's Durant with the rebound. Durant's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Thompson misses. The Nuggets trail by 10. Here's Barton. He has 6. In the corner, it's Harris. On the money from 12 feet away. And it's the Warriors with the ball. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. After this one, they're off to Sacramento to take on the Kings. That'll be just 1 game played away from home for them. Thompson outside. And it's Thompson again missing.
Good pick, but he just couldn't make it count.
Yeah, nice job of setting the screen by his teammate there. And I'm sure he appreciated it. A clear look at the hoop. He doesn't miss many of those.
Curry setting the pick for Thompson. Here's Jordan. Drops off the pick and hammers it home.
Boy, it doesn't get much better than that. Curry with a really nice screen.
Here's Barton, guarded by Curry. Knocked loose. Here's Barton. Tries to keep it alive. Durant with the steal. Kicks to Jordan. Outside Durant. No good on the 3.
Boy, from my angle, it looked like it was in the bottom of the net. Looked good from here.
Yeah, I'm about as shocked as you are, Clark.
Harris dishes to Barton. Guarded by Jordan. Out of bounds. Golden State takes possession.
And with the moment, let's check out some stats for Thompson. He had a strong showing last season. 4th in three-point field goal percentage, 10th in scoring, and ranked in the top 15 in free throw percentage. Tremendous confidence and technique at the line.
And, you know, as you said, he was great from downtown. I don't think last year was an aberration. He's one of the deadliest sharpshooters in the game. The number of points they've scored in the paint already today is pretty eye-opening.
It really is, Clark. The defenders need to do a better job of closing those lanes to the hoop. Yeah, enough scoring on the inside there. I think it's time for him to send a message to his team.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I guarantee you this talk centers around cutting down on all of those points coming in the paint. They've got to show more resistance there.
With the break in the action, let's show you the teams with the most second-chance points last year. Fourth, the Nuggets.
This was a team that was really savvy when it came to getting position under the boards and then getting those offensive putbacks.
And the Warriors with some changes. Pachulia, he's checked in for Jordan. And it's West in for Kevin Durant. Nurkic checked in for Denver. Here's Barton, guarded by Curry. Here's Chandler. No luck. And it's the Warriors taking it the other way.
You know, when I think of Wilson Chandler, what comes to mind is supreme athleticism. He can throw it down with the best of them, and yet he's still working on the other areas of his game to be more well-rounded.
You know, back to Wilson Chandler, he's somewhat of a wild card. One of the few guys to go overseas. Remember, Greg, during that NBA lockout in 2011, he signed to play for China and didn't negotiate an out clause when he signed.
Yeah, and truth is, Chandler's one of those guys who can give you some solid minutes, but you hope at some point that he gets serious and commits to reaching his full potential.
Second. Stepped into the league. Klay Thompson was lights out in terms has never had a problem knocking one down.
Well, the first player in league history to notch 500 made threes in his first 3 seasons in the league. That is remarkable.
And he nails the third.
And for Thompson, his three-pointer was his calling card early on, but I love the way he's expanded his game every season. He's become a very good defender and broadened his offensive game as well.
Nurkic a screen on West. 5 on the clock. Shot to stop the run. It's deflected, and there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Warriors leading by 15.
You know, and speaking of Thompson expanding his game, he's also come out of his shell a little bit. Very quiet early on, but he has gotten more and more comfortable in the league and becoming more outspoken.
Shot clock at 6. West setting the pick for Curry. And the layup falls. Curry's got 8.
And defensively, they're on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Barton kicks to Harris. They set the screen. Iguodala with the steal. And here they go. Thompson misses. The Nuggets trail by 17. Chandler the pass to Harris. Dishes it to Barton. Clock at 6. Lets a floater go. He takes it up and lays it in. Barton's got 6 in the quarter.
Well, they're not shooting as many from outside here in the second quarter.
They were shooting well early on. I liked their spacing. I think they should get back to that.
Outside Curry. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Curry's got 10.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
Barton dishes to Chandler. They set the pick. On the way, Harris. Chandler kicks to Nurkic. Here's Barton, guarded by Curry. Barton, no luck.
And the fadeaway was the only option he had on that one. Defender there all over.
Puts it up from 15. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. And that's 15 points for Klay Thompson. 5 seconds left in the second quarter. Here's Barton. And through the first half, a pretty lopsided affair. Warriors lead by 19. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Kevin, I'm here with Stephen Curry. And Steph, you guys really turned it on in that second quarter. What was the difference?
Push the tempo. We got a lot of stops early. Long rebounds, was able to get out in transition. Being on the floor for some easy baskets. And we just executed kind of flawlessly that quarter.
Steph, thank you so much. Kevin, he's earned this rest.
Thank you, Doris. And we'll be right back after halftime for the start of quarter number 3.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. Klay Thompson putting in some serious work for the team tonight. He ended up with 15 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. Taking a look at the Warriors, Kenny, what'd you think? And you, big fella, let's get your thoughts on the Nuggets.
Well, first of all, as cold as they've been from the floor, I can't say I'm surprised by the score. You cannot shoot the ball that poorly and expect to be in the game, Ernie. They need better ball movement. If their offense stays this stagnant, they could forget about a comeback.
And now, folks, it's just about time for the third quarter to begin. We will see you after the final buzzer.
We're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third.
Really an extraordinary game for Thompson. 15 points, and he has 1 steal to his credit as well.
And Clark, he's just done a great job defensively. That 1 steal doesn't tell the whole story.
The Nuggets trail by 19.
You know, the Nuggets could create their offense, but they still would have trouble knocking down the shots. Just didn't have a lot of dead-eye laser shooters. Every field goal attempt with them was an adventure.
It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson. They're in the backcourt. Jordan is out there with Green, and it's Durant in at the 3. That's the Warriors 5. Warriors leading by 17. And Curry, here we go. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. Nuggets did have their problems on the offensive end, too. Something that's rare for them, hitting the open shot and the mid-range shot and beyond being one of them.
You know, Kevin, how about being last in the league in catch and shoot field goal percentage? I mean, got a good amount of looks that way, but really struggled shooting only 34% in those situations.
And he knocks down the first one.
Well, I tell you, the Warriors roster fit together hand in glove. They were led by the Splash Brothers, but the front court and the bench really complemented the rest of the team perfectly because all of the players for the Warriors were extremely versatile and highly skilled.
And both free throws good for Curry. As you're talking about the Warriors, you know, they were built to play with each other last year. The bigs could all pass very well, and that set up the three-point threats.
And then even on the defensive side, I mean, they had players that really complemented each other. I mean, some undersized power forwards who countered with rim protectors. I mean, they also had the length at every perimeter position to switch on any play. So they are equally as adept on that side of the ball.
Nelson with it, and Curry picks him up defensively. And here's Gallinari. 5 on the clock. Pass to Faried. Takes the 13-footer. And Durant sends it back. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation.
And now let's take a moment to check out the stats for Green. Good season for him last year. Last season chipped in 11 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. Just solid all-around performances we've been seeing from him, delivering night in and night out.
And you know, that's what stars do. It isn't always about scoring 50 points. It's about making plays consistent.
And that one's good. 6 points for Kenneth Faried.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
Nelson against Curry. Here's the teardrop, and the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play.
That's his third person, team second.
And guys, Steph Curry, the rare point guard who's almost as effective playing off the ball as he is on it. And the Warriors have really emphasized that as he's evolved as a player, bringing in a lot of playmakers who can set him up coming off screens.
Nelson outside. Here's Barton. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
The Nuggets shooting their 6th attempt at the charity stripe in the game.
Will Barton. With one.
That free throw good from Barton.
And, you know, Denver was not that good against the West last season, but they weren't as bad as you would have thought. Managed to get 19 wins against the rest of the conference, and we know how tough the West is, so that's not shabby.
Durant for 3. And it's Jokic with the rebound.
Boy, but he was close, Kevin, to making the defense pay for lackadaisical coverage there.
Yeah, you may not be as lucky next time down if you're the defense. You cannot allow him to get those kinds of looks.
Nelson against Curry. Screen by Faried. Now, here is Gallinari. Defended by Durant. 6 to shoot. Gallinari passes to Nelson. Tries again, and that one's good. Jokic.
Are you sensing or feeling a theme here, fellas? I mean, they're taking it straight to the bucket every time down.
And why change? I mean, that's 8 straight points in the paint, and they have now turned this into a physical game.
Well, last year for the Nuggets, they were really searching, and they finished 12th in the Western Conference. Greg, they were 30-52.
You know, not a great place to be.
No,
let's face it. I mean, Kevin, Denver never really had a shot at the postseason, but weren't good enough to land a high draft pick either.
Well, let's look back to last year's Nuggets while we've got a moment here, Kevin. 4th and second chance points, 7th in rebounding. And also, they were in the top 10 when it came to fast break points. I mean, they weren't afraid to play the game at a fast pace and run a little bit.
And just go revisit those numbers in terms of second chance points. That was elite, and they weren't shy about sticking their nose in there and going after the ball.
Warriors leading by 17. Curry dishes to Durant. Takes a 3. And it's Jokic with the rebound.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Nelson, no one around him. They get it back. Gallinari wide open. Great look, but off the mark. The Warriors have gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. Thompson. Here's Green. And the layup's good off the glass.
Plays like that, the hustle plays on the backboard, the second chance points that have really caused problems all day for the defense.
We've seen Kevin Durant really having a great game.
He's in one heck of a groove with the scoring. They're going to talk it over and try to figure out how to slow him down.
I would like to take this moment to show you the teams that a year ago made a trademark of scoring points off turnovers. The Warriors, #1.
Yeah, I mean, the best in the league at forcing those miscues and then capitalizing at the other end. Their defense led to their offense.
The Nuggets trail by 19. Passes it to Jokic. Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. There's the screen. Faried down low. Covered by Green. The Nuggets with another miss.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
On its way from Curry for 2 with the putback. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. Green's got 5 now.
Relentless on the glass is what he is, and that tip-in was the result of all the hard work he puts in down low.
Here's Jokic, and he gets that one to go off the front iron. 6 points for him. Warriors leading by 19 points. Now Jordan, he has 7 to the middle, outside for Curry. Five on the clock. He feeds it to Thompson. Leans from outside. Denver grabs the miss. They put up a nice win against Utah last time out.
Yeah, the bench production in that game was terrific. Points from multiple sources.
Yeah, everybody that stepped on the floor played and made a contribution, and that's always a positive thing.
Barton kicks to Nelson. Goes up on the high post. Shot is off. Curry with the defensive effort.
He's given them little to nothing at the offensive end. I can't put him any other way.
And then Durant with the dunk.
He's their go-to guy, and when he shoots the ball like he has today, that's what the scoreboard usually looks like.
Nelson, the pass to Faried. They set the pick. Here's Barton. He's covered by Thompson. And that one's good. Barton.
The entire defense was frozen-footed. Nobody picked up the shooter, Kevin.
Outside Jordan. That's good. And a nice assist from Durant. And that's now 9 points for Jordan.
Defensively, I think they've got to do a better job of bodying them up.
Clearly, they've been outclassed in the paint, really at both ends of the floor.
Screen by Faried. Curry against Nelson to the inside. Here's Faried.
And you know, guys, a high-energy post player like Kenneth Faried excels at doing the dirty work. As a matter of fact, he's nicknamed the Manimal for good reason. Very few players in the league possess this combination of energy and aggressiveness.
At the line of Warriors, Kenneth Faried.
He misses the free throw. Sean Livingston, he's checked in for Thompson. Laverne, he's checked in for the Nuggets. Harris comes in for Barton. And he's good on the second. Warriors leading by 20. Here is Livingston. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Curry's shot is good.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Great ball movement.
Nelson kicks to Gallinari. And there's the pass to Harris. Feeds it to Farid. He dishes it to Gallinari. 6 on the shot clock. With the shot. No good off the front iron.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady with their work on the interior. Really a well-rounded effort overall.
Count the bucket. And that's 20 points for Kevin Durant.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Nelson dishes to Farid. Farid setting the pick for Gallinari. Off the pick. Green with the block. Now here's Jordan. 9 points in the game so far. He kicks it to Livingston. Back to Jordan. Shoots from the line. Offensive rebound. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the league.
The second person.
Some changes for Golden State. West comes in for Jordan. And it's Iguodala in for Draymond Green. And a look at how the hustle game has been going for the Warriors.
We've seen them make the extra effort from a defensive standpoint, closing out airspace and sending shots back.
Another factor here tonight has been the amount of points they've scored off turnover.
Here's the screen. The feed to Harris. Nelson against Curry. Nelson, right side. On target from 13 feet. Nelson's got 8. Golden State's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Curry passes to West. The dish to Iguodala. Kicks to Livingston. He feeds it to West. Denver grabs the miss. Nelson's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Pass to Laverne. The tray. Can't hit. And it's the Warriors taking it the other way.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it. Gritty and rough. But that's how you win games.
Here's Curry. Good D by Nelson.
And this is why you need good defenders on the interior to contest shots.
Yeah, Greg, making every shot a hard one, even the shots in close.
There's a screen. Left side Chandler. 3-pointer. And it's Durant with the rebound. Durant's got his 8th rebound here tonight. For so long, there has been this mindset that Golden State wins through offense. But their defense, you know, Gia, you were talking about this, is where the true strength of this team lies.
Yeah, I think that's what's really allowed them to separate when you look at the rest of the league. I mean, they led the league in opponents' field goal percentage last season. And some nights, the shots weren't falling, but the defense always showed up.
Near the 3-point line, it's Nelson. Nice jump shot. Good. Nelson's got 10. They have been really controlling this one.
You never want to be complacent on the floor. That's when you lose momentum.
Durant, no good.
And you know, with the Warriors, it goes beyond the stats. High character guys, tremendous culture. They had a lot of guys that could guard multiple positions and defend them well. That was a big reason they became champs.
Oh, man, still a goose egg for him in the scoring column.
And some very quick points for him on that possession. Durant's got 11 in the second half.
Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
Harris outside. Good ball movement here by the Nuggets. Curry against Nelson. Dishes to Laverne. Shot clock at 5. The Warriors pull it in.
And you just look at this Warriors roster, and there are a ton of defensive playmakers. That ability to switch everything and be fine is what made them so tough on the defensive side of the ball.
Denver's gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4. On the wing, Harris. They set the pick. The 9-foot shot. They get it back. On the wing, Chandler. He's covered by Iguodala. Back to Harris. Pass to Nelson. Just 4 to shoot. And again, Denver no good.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
Pick by West. Off the screen. And the shot falls short this time. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. The Warriors on top, running away with it. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get started for the fourth quarter. And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. The Warriors shooting has been great, up over 50%. In fact, 52%. All right, now a chance to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. So on the floor for Denver. Arthur out there with Laverne. Then there's B, and there's Money. And it's Nurkic in at the 5, roaming the paint. Now Murray.
You know, guys, coaching in the NBA is not for the faint of heart. Very little job security. I mean, in essence, you get hired to be fired. Let's face it, it's hard to make a bunch of millionaires do what you tell them to when they might be around longer than you will.
Smooth passes to Iguodala. Here is Livingston. The 9-foot shot. Pachulia, no luck.
That's a bad miss right there. I mean, you'd like to see him be a little more assertive when he has such good position.
Screen by Nurkic. There's a screen. Stripped away. Iguodala outside. Pachulia the pass to Smooth. Iguodala outside. Again, Iguodala missing. Iguodala has gone only 1 of 5 shooting from the floor. Beasley outside. Pass to Laverne. Just 5 on the clock. He squares up and sinks it. Laverne's got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for Denver. Golden State's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Smooth passes to Livingston. A floater, and he lays it up and in.
Uh-oh, a little showboating at the end of that one.
The Nuggets shooting 33% for the night. That's a big thorn in their side right now. Screen by Nurkic. They set the screen. Here's Laverne. And Pachulia pulls it down. Warriors have gone 1 of 4 since the end of the third quarter. Livingston kicks to Pachulia. The pass to Livingston. Out left to the wing. It's West with the drive.
And one priority for the commissioner this year was how the schedule worked. There were complaints about too many back-to-back games, and it was something everybody wanted to improve upon.
The Warriors making a switch here. Looney's checked in, and a switch here also for Denver. Gallinari, he's checked in for Laverne. For those just joining us, fourth quarter here, we're just over 2.5 minutes into it. 6 to shoot. A drive by Iguodala. No luck. Now the Nuggets take it the other way. Greg, as you said, the NBA schedule was something that needed change. Players were getting worn out with all the back-to-back games, Clark. You've been through it and you know firsthand.
And it's not just the back-to-back games, Kevin. It's the 4 games in 5 nights over 7 and 10 days. The league office knows the NBA is at their best when teams are resting. And kudos to the league for doing something about it.
Livingston passes to Looney. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Down low. Rebound by Nurkic. Nurkic has got his 3rd rebound on the night. Now Murray. And it's blocked. Here is Livingston, covered by Beasley. From downtown, Arthur grabs the board. The Nuggets have gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. All alone. Warriors with the rebound. Feeds it to Livingston. And it's blocked. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Beasley with it to the wing right side. Here's Murray. Buries it from 3-point range.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
They set the pick. Here's Livingston. Has to smooth. That drops and it comes off the assist from Livingston.
Well, I like the way he orchestrated in tight that time, fellas.
The Nuggets have gone 3 of 7 from the floor in the fourth. That's a 42% mark in the quarter. Beasley dishes to Murray. Back to Beasley. It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
You know, something that's floating around in the sports world and in the NBA is reseeding after the playoffs start. And for those of you who may not understand the situation, it's simply saying that no matter what, it would play the lower seeded team, however you get to those numbers.
All right, now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And the first one drops. And with that whole concept of playoff reseeding, so often we'll see a 2nd or 3rd seed team get a 6th or 7th seed team in the second round. Meanwhile, Greg, the top seed plays the 4th seed no matter what.
You know, I think in a few cases it would have made a major difference in how the playoffs would have played out. And quite frankly, I think it also puts more value on the regular season if that number 1 seed could play a 7th seed, if you will, in the second round. So I think that's something that the commissioner and the competition committee might want to reassess.
Pachulia, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. That one is on Arthur.
And Zaza Pachulia, for my money, has been one of the toughest players in the league. He's got a boxer's mentality. Even his face looks a little bit like a boxer's. He doesn't have the quick twitch muscles of some guys, but his power and effort consistently stand out.
The free throw drops for Pachulia. Talking about Zaza's toughness, it's one of the reasons he has such a high rebounds per minute average over his career. And defending on the blocks, he's almost unmovable.
He really, you know what, Coach Kidd loves Zaza. Even started him over John Henson by the end of the season. I mean, he's always willing to trade body blows down low and certainly wins his fair share of those battles.
And Pachulia drops them both.
They got to keep fighting their way to the line, guys. This half has been nothing but success for them there.
Yeah, taking full advantage from the charity stripe. They've yet to miss here in the second.
Here's Nurkic. That misses off the backboard.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the chart.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
There's the pick. Here's Looney. That drops, and it comes off the assist from Livingston. Livingston's got his 3rd assist on the night. Nuggets have gone 3 of 8 here in the fourth quarter. Here's Murray. He dishes it to Arthur. Off the screen. Shot is no good.
Awesome defense. I mean, he'll hit those unless you're right in his grill.
There's the feed to Livingston.
And in the past, the NBA had the All-Star break for just an extended weekend. Last year, they gave the players a full week off. It seemed to be received positively by everyone.
Can't get it to go. Now Denver takes it the other way.
He just has not been able to get into that groove yet, guys. But as a whole, it hasn't affected them too much.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case. It looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. And this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
And that was Kia bringing you the close-up on the big-time play. The All-Star break in 2015 was just a bit over a week. Those extra days, Clark, for most players, really rested some guys up.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think it was a nice move. You play those 82 games, you need more than just a few days break during the middle part of the season. So I like that move a lot.
Ian Clark's checked in for Golden State. And Denver with a change here, too. Wilson Chandler's checked in for Darrell Arthur. And it's the Warriors with the ball. 2 on the clock. Looney with the bucket.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
Denver's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Nurkic's screen on Thompson. Murray kicks to Nurkic. Shot to stop the drought. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Give credit where credit is due right there. A terrific assist.
David West, he's checked in for Looney. Laverne, he's checked in for Denver. And Jusuf Nurkic, really a big, good-looking young prospect. He's the guy that took Mozgov's place in Denver.
Yeah, originally Kevin drafted by the Bulls at number 16 and traded to Denver, as you indicated. His sheer size alone, 7 feet 280. That makes him a force on the glass.
Beasley, the pass to Murray. They set the pick. And he finishes nicely on the layup.
And getting back to Nurkic, what makes him an intriguing prospect beyond his size is his exceptional balance. I mean, his excellent footwork makes him really effective in the pick and roll. He also possesses great lateral speed and quick hands for a big man.
The Nuggets have gone 5 of 12 from the field entering the fourth quarter. Murray dishes to Beasley. He kicks it to Nurkic. West with the block. There's the dish to Thompson. To the inside. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. Pachulia's got 4 points in the quarter.
And, you know, talking about Nurkic, I mean, his father, a police officer in Bosnia. According to the Denver Nuggets broadcasters last year, Dad is 7 feet tall and weighs a good 400 pounds or more. That's a big police officer there, boy.
Here's the screen. Kicks it to Laverne. And it's good with time running down on the shot clock.
Assisted by Murray.
Here is Livingston.
It's been kind of a gradual occurrence, but I think it's clear that analytics are here to stay in the NBA. Every team now has at least some vesting into the analytics area. Some base a lot of their decisions on the number side of the game. Others have a more balanced approach.
Now Murray. He feeds it to Nurkic. Beasley kicks to Chandler. Dishes it to Murray. There's a good screen. Chandler, the pass to Laverne. That's good. Laverne's got 6 here in this quarter.
He wasn't able to get his name in the score sheet in the first half, but he looks like he's starting to find his comfort zone here.
West outside. Pass to Livingston. Feeds to Thompson. Off the pick. Rebound by the Nuggets. Laverne's got his 4th rebound in this one. Screen by Nurkic. Stolen away.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Warriors.
But, Steve, you know, you don't see this kind of a blowout often. But tonight, this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
Well, you know what? I thought they did a nice job of playing against the game. They kept the pressure on and clearly were dominant in every area.
And so with this win, they'll move to 6 victories on the season.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And it will be a fight, Greg. When you see an opponent that many times, it's inevitable that those games take on a little extra added meaning for the players.
And what a huge standout performance it was for Kevin Durant. He was extremely efficient offensively, got good looks, and really knocked down big shots all game long.
Here's the screen. Thompson inside the line. No good off the front iron. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Beasley outside. Passes to Nurkic. West with the steal. Here is Livingston. So we see the Warriors taking the game here. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
No question about it, Kevin. They certainly gave their fans plenty to scream and holler about. This place was rocking. It was on fire. And it only got louder as that lead got bigger.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Kevin, I'm here with Andre Iguodala. And Andre, what was the secret to seeing such a great output offensively?
Well, we know our defense is our catalyst to everything for our team. So as long as we play defense, get stops, rebounding was most important tonight. You know, they're one of the best rebounding teams in the league. We were able to do that and get out on a break.
Andre, thank you so much. Kevin, no surprise, one of the best defenders, always thinking about things on that end.
Thank you, Doris. Great interview once again. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now.